Hi again then guys, and welcome to another kind of throwback style tune to the type of setup which actually got this channel started way back on GT6, a good old-fashioned top speed build, with of course a very good amount of acceleration thrown in there and just a smidge of handling as well for when you need it. And the car in question is of course the LaFerrari, the Ferrari. Now, as far as upgrades go, you want to drop the weight, and as far as power, I don't recall if you actually need to upgrade that. I don't think you do, because the maximum power is 1036, so if I recall correctly, I think you can get that stock anyway. But if you do need to upgrade it, then obviously that's down to you. The weight you definitely do need to upgrade though. Traction control of course will vary from person to person. You could use it off the line to keep it under control. I'll leave that down to you. As far as tyres, we've got Racing Super Softs, for obvious reasons, maximum grip. Again, that's down to personal preference. As far as the suspension, we've got it a little bit inclined upwards at the front, because although personally I don't like the look of that, it does help acceleration, in particular mid-range and top-end acceleration. It doesn't necessarily improve your top speed all that much anymore, but it helps you to get there a little bit quicker. In some cases a lot quicker, in fact. So we've got 115mm on the back, 110 on the front, which probably sounds counterintuitive to what I just said about having it higher at the front, but the reality is that actually is higher at the front, because the body of the car makes up the difference. As far as the frequency, we've got that on 2.2, front and rear. For the anti-roll, we've got that on 5 and 6. As far as compression on the dampers, we've got that 54 and 55, with 88 front and back on rebound. As far as the camber and toe, they're both neutral. The camber in particular will be down to you though, of course. And as far as the diff, I've got the lowest on everything. The handling is relatively controlled, but at the same time a lot of people I know find the LaFerrari to be very twitchy. So of course calling it a good handling car is a relative term. And obviously it's not designed for handling first and foremost anyway. As far as the gearbox, which of course is the most important thing for a tune like this, I would recommend doing a gearbox flip. Now, if you're not familiar with that, you want to fit the fully customized transmission, obviously, but some people don't know that, so it is a fair thing to say. Then take your auto setting as high as possible, which in miles per hour is 311, and then go down to your final drive, put it down to 3.2, then come back up to your auto setting, click it on and off again, and you'll notice that each of the gears change. The amount of breadth really in the ratios that you can have will change. Then for the individual gears, I'd recommend 4.2, 2.5, 1750, 1325, 1050 and then 870. And as far as 7th, we've just got that all the way to the right to make it a lot shorter, because this doesn't use 7th gear. 7th gear in this tune is basically just for slipstream if you need it, which you rarely will because of how fast the car is, but if you should need it, it's there. So that's it for the tune. Of course, you can always try other things, maybe combine this with your own setups, your own settings for this particular car, make a Frankenstein tune. Of course, that's the whole point of these tunes, to be worked on, but all that remains is obviously to see how fast it can actually go at Le Mans. So, spoiler alert, of course, for this particular tune, because you could see it in the thumbnail of the video, it's not clickbait. My top speed tunes are never clickbait, because this can actually do 262 miles per hour. Now that's with an automatic gearbox, and of course you can get even better acceleration in particular with that. Speaking of which, this car incidentally can accelerate up to 250 miles per hour by the first chicane. So that gives you some idea of how quick it is. Top end speed of 262, it's not quite as quick as some of the other cars in the game. I would have actually loved to have seen how quick this could be in Gran Turismo 6, based on stuff like the Huayra and the Nismo. I think this could well have been one of the fastest supercars in the game, probably over 300, but for now, the top speeds are much more realistic. Still, this is a lot faster than it is in real life, of course. So if you do decide to use it and potentially win drag races with it, of course, you could check out my other tunes as well by clicking through here on screen. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.